All right. Let's host the call. Let's see. Hello. To anybody who might be watching. Hello. Oh, let me turn up your volume. Hold on.
All right. I'm going to go to the YouTube link real quick.
Definitely share the YouTube link.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to call my father real quick. Let him know where it is. Give me a sec while I mute myself.
All right. For any of those who might be watching this in the future, hello. Oh no. Video is now unavailable. What happened? Oh, there we go. This is Left for Random Talk. It's a podcast that me and Rev have been working on for years. And we're finally going to get it working. Currently in the background, we're going to be having me drawing because we don't have representing artwork in the show yet. And I would like to draw something. But basically, this podcast is talking about anime, about games, about cartoons, sometimes some movies, and sometimes we'll have a special guest that will show up, a very special guest. And other times it'll just be us. Seeing if I can pop out chat in Twitch, but I can't. Nope. Nope, okay. And let me edit something with window capture. This is a very professional stream already. Yep, there we go. Currently there's no music because if we have music, it's going to be very loud and it'll be louder than Rev, and I don't want that. And the music you heard at the very beginning was made by me. Yeah, I'm so talented. So while he's in his call, I highly doubt that he can hear me right now. If he can, then that's great. If he can't, then that's even better. Because I am very dumb right now.
All right. So he's now looking for it now. He's just going to test something out.
Okay.
He's trying to find it.
I can't pop out Twitch chat, so I'm having to keep Twitch open.
Of course, it's fine. I'll go to our document, the one we have for this.
Yeah, I have it open too.
Good. So we'll be on topic with certain things. Hello, everyone.
Hello. I've already like filled whoever decides to listen to this in. This is a show that we've been trying to get started for years.
Oh, hold on. Video unavailable. Did you exit out the thing?
Oh, no. You need to refresh it.
Ah, fucking hell. I hate that so much.
Yeah, I had the same issue. I don't know what's going on.
I'm going to link the YouTube one around some places.
But yeah, this is a show we've been working on for years. And we finally figured out the secret. We don't record it beforehand. We live stream it. We are so dumb. We are so dumb. But no, we talk about video games mostly. We talk about movies. Sometimes we talk about anime and other weird nerdy stuff. And sometimes we do talk about the news, but we try and keep real world hardcore drama to a minimum.
If at all possible.
Yeah. So
Unless
in
it's incredibly. Go ahead.
in the background, I'm going to be drawing our representing images. Rev, do you know what you want to be? Because in
Uh,
in the
you
loading
know what?
screen, I had you look like a chibi Punisher or Reaper from Overwatch.
Tiny Red Reaper. Yeah.
Oh no, I actually can't do that. Somebody has technically copyrighted Reaper Bean, as he's called.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
I love it.
You know what I'm gonna pick. You know what I always talk about.
Please don't say Gundam. I can't draw robots.
It's Gundam.
I can't draw robots, dude. If I do it, it's gonna be a chibi.
No, that's fine. I don't mind the Chiba fight.
Okay.
Oh, and look at that! 100 squirrels just came out the window.
I actually did that in Seattle once, and I had 3 squirrels approach me. Like, what the hell is this thing? Anyway, we have some topics written up, and this is just like the first episode. See how things go. We will be doing polls in between live streams to see what people want to talk about.
Yeah, and if this goes as we hope.
And he's a robot.
Again, that's my bad. I have like 100 different things open.
It's alright. It's alright.
How about now? Am I good now?
Yeah.
So not only will it be polls for our topics that people want us to talk about, this is going to be, I guess, looking a bit into the future. And this is specifically for when we like have one of our other friends, a dude called Liam.
Liam or Wild on 29 or 21 is name 92. Sorry, it keeps changing between 21, 92, and 29. What the fuck, dude? Oh, and yes, we do swear profusely.
Yeah, profusely. There will be swearing. There will be crying children.
I was raised around adult men who also doubled as sailors and soldiers and also dogs.
Yeah, she was like, much like Mowgli, she was raised by dogs too.
Yes, I was raised by wolves. A woo. Anyway, we have some topics that we're going to talk about if we can actually focus and segue into it, and hopefully destroy said segue and throw it in the trash.
Yes. Well, actually, I do want to bring this up too. This might be for the next stream or the one after it, but there will, and again, bringing up the topic of Gundam for a second, we might also introduce the concept of, for anyone who's a Gundam fan, the mobile suit of the month. Yeah. And basically, it'll be a poll. We'll put like maybe 4 different kinds of mobile suits on there, and people can vote. And Liam and myself will discuss what's good about it, what sucks, and if you should get it. Also, please note, I have to say this too, please note, the choice of mobile suits for now will be universal centric. So don't expect anything crazy like, I don't know, Turn A or any other kind of crazy mobile suits like that.
And to balance this out, I am thinking maybe I should do something like that, but with Pokemon.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Because like, I don't want us to strictly focus on one anime that not many people know about anymore.
Yeah, people still know about it. Unfortunately, it's the fucking build fighters.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with like a silly idea of like, what if this robot fought this robot? That's fine. It's just too kiddie for my liking, and it's silly.
Okay, Rev, if you really want me to draw you as a fucking Gundam, link me one. Because I don't know what you're gonna like.
What is the most complicated looking one
I will kill you. That's it. Yep. Podcast is over. Thank you for joining us. We're done. Yeah. Roll the outro. Wait, I didn't make an outro.
No, you only made the intro.
Yeah, I actually could just use the intro. Anyway, let's get this started, please. We've been sitting here dicking around.
Hold on. Let me just look for a very simplistic one. Well, you know the type I prefer. I don't, you know, Xeon, no Federation.
You
Federation can go
say
fuck
these
itself.
names and I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Think Space America.
Oh please. You're not gonna link me that sombrero looking thing, are you? Good gods,
Oh
please,
no.
no.
No, I'm not gonna link the.
This is
I'm not
going
gonna
over
link.
everybody's heads. Everybody's heads.
What a great intro. We're just talking about random yes
And
or
all
no.
they're looking at on screen is just a little duck thing.
All right. I decided to choose this purposely cartoonish looking version of the goof. Is this simple enough?
Yeah, that
Is it?
works. Oh
You
god.
see,
I see the weapon he has that concerns me.
it's the heat rod.
I remember that gif you shared. That was hilarious and
the,
terrifying.
the robotic penis one, yes.
Anyway,
All right, so let's get started. Let's
please,
get on with our topics.
please. What do we start with first? We have so many.
Oh, good. My father found the thing. So let me check the chat real quick. Is he there?
If he is, there's only one
Dad, can you...
participant on the YouTube thing, but
Hello, Dad. Do you see us? Hi.
if you are, put an eggplant emoji in.
Really?
I'm kidding.
It's so,
Please don't.
so mature. Okay. So we have a few topics. I'll list them off real quick so people know what we're going to talk about tonight. And the first one is Sea of Thieves, the new No Man's Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Should all games like the PS2 and PS1 era games be remastered, or should they remain as they are? This is a more warfare related topic.
That's another
Should
thing we
DE
will talk about a lot.
Yes. Should DE Digital Extremes partner with an animation studio to create a Warframe movie or TV show? The next one is, should fan games be made canon, as in part of the game's franchise or series, if it is really good and respects the source material? And on to our last three topics. Voxel games are in, good or bad, Pixark and what's it say?
Staxel.
Staxel?
Yeah.
Impressions on yet another Far Cry, on yet another Far Cry game? Question mark. And last one is Ghost of a Tale First Glance. Seriously,
Yep.
the little face, you really went there.
Why not?
All right.
I really don't like drawing robots, but I'll do my best, okay?
Okay. So, like I said, we've got the stream started, so I guess we could get on with our first topic here, and that is, at least from my point of view, hold on, there's something on my screen. Get rid of that. Sea of Thieves, the new No Man's Sky. So, for those of you who don't know, Sea of Thieves came out a few weeks ago, give or take.
A few weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago. It's a beautiful game.
It looks good, but like someone said, it is vast but has all the depth of a puddle. So I haven't played the game. I've seen a lot of I've seen a lot of people play. You know, Rizzle, is it?
I
Or
don't know.
Rizzle? It's an Overwatch player from Australia.
I've seen the Yogs. The Yogs cast are going crazy over this one.
Yeah, but everybody else, like, here's the thing. I'm going to put it out here real quick. Sea of Thieves is not a bad concept of a game. That's not what I'm saying. But it really does need to be played with four people. If you play it alone, you're going to be bored because it is very much a grind fest. You're going to be sailing from island to island to island at various points of the game, looking for random crap, looking for chickens, pigs, random loot, this kind of thing, then sailing back to the main hub island, getting a reward, and then doing it all over again. That's basically the game. And unfortunately, unless you've got like more people with you or more friends, Hold on a sec. What's going on?
Yeah, OBS is not capturing my Chrome, so we have a bit of an issue there, technical difficulties.
Okay, well we'll figure
And
it out. Don't worry.
the downside of this game is that it's for the Xbox only app.
Yes,
It's
and again, this is a problem because
it's a pain to join each other. I've seen
exactly.
two streamers struggle to join their friends. One of them actually took an hour and a half. The other one took 40 minutes. So there's definitely some room for improvement there. But it is a gorgeous game, and I'm definitely going to. I can reopen that tab. I closed it on accident. I am definitely going to leave a link to the website in chat, and as well as like in the description on YouTube, so people can go check them out. You can support the creators because it's a beautiful game. It's definitely
Yeah.
something me and my friend Bill would love to do.
Well, again, and while that's, I cannot, in good consciousness, really recommend the game as it is, and that is mostly
No,
because
definitely wait till launch.
yes, it's not even that. Wait, I'd say just wait until like several expansions and even patches come out for the game, because honestly, outside of going to the islands and fighting the Kraken, it's not. There's very little else to do. Again, this is a fun game to play with your friends. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me. There is no what's the word? There's no. Oh my God. There's no downside to
There's
playing with.
no story. There's no end goal or objective. It's just you
Exactly.
sail on a ship on a beautifully designed ocean. You fight other players on a pirate ship. You get to collect gold and fight skeletons. It's an amazing game, but it's just not worth it to play it right now because there's just not that much to it.
Exactly. And to be quite honest, and it's not only that, but there's also what's the word? We've also got issues. Even there are some very weird and unexplained technical issues with the game, and everyone knows a game always comes out with major flaws. That's always been the case with a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
But the flaws of Sea of Thieves is um, it's a lot worse than you might think. For example, I've seen multiple accounts of people having issues sailing their boats around because all of a sudden, if they so much as hit a wave at a weird angle, the boat will go into the stratosphere. It will literally fly away.
I remember seeing a video on Tumblr where a guy shot an enemy ship and suddenly it just did a pirouette and flew into the air.
Exactly, and it's not just.
I believe the Sea of Thieves link is in the description. It's just not showing up for me.
Yeah, again, we're having a few technical issues.
Yeah, this is only like the first episode, and there's still just two derpy little characters sitting on the screen. Let me fix that.
Watch it. Exactly, just doing absolutely nothing.
I have a giant mug of coffee. You got a weird little skeleton.
Fitting for this topic then.
Yeah.
Yes, and it isn't just this issue of that as well. There are plenty of glitches in the game as well that completely and can totally break the the game as well.
It can ruin your gameplay. It can definitely ruin it. Going back to streamers, there was another guy who I think he's still a part of the Augscast, or he's no longer part of it. I don't know. He and his friend both got stuck on the same rock, and they stood there for another 20 to 40 minutes just playing their instruments because they were they were stuck. They couldn't move. And finally they gave up, closed the game, and then reopened it, and they were fine.
Exactly. And hold on. I'm just sending a text real quick. Dad's having a bit of issues. He's asking me, he's like, son, how do I internet? No, again, no offense. There he is. Hi, Dad.
Oh, great. The Warframe. I forgot to share the Warframe. Sorry, I can't talk. I forgot to share the links to the Warframe crew. And I just love that my Twitch link shows Tiffany the awesome shovel.
Yeah.
That is an old reference. Anyway.
Right. So I guess in close, not only that, but I have to, again, going to Sea of Thieves for just one last tidbit, I suppose. The
hello, sir.
Yeah,
nice to meet you. I'm HH.
Yes. This is my good friend, my not girlfriend. Oh, bed.
Good gods, ew.
It's like immediately just glaring.
I'm actually feeling nauseous. I'm not even joking. I feel nauseous. Anyway.
Oh.
Back to Sea of Thieves, you were saying?
Yes. So I guess I should cover the following really quick. Sea of Thieves has character customization. That's always been the case. Yes, but there are the presets. There are options for you to change them. But the character models are very what's the word? They're very
no, they're not the best.
Yeah, raw. That's it. They're very raw. It's very much like they still needed several months to get things sorted.
Granted, the characters look great. It's just they're not that great at the same time.
Exactly. I mean, they're very cartoonish, but it's fitting for the series. But at the same time, you see it and you're like, I can't look away.
It's like a train wreck.
Exactly.
You can't look away.
Exactly. And
even the mermaids in the game look horrifying.
Exactly. And
I'm actually going to interrupt you again because this is something I just want to point out. My dad has a therapy massage machine upstairs that he's using on his side, and that is literally the only thing I can hear right now. And it is driving me crazy. I know. Nobody else can hear it but me, but it's the only thing I'm able to focus on. It's driving me crazy.
Just grab the broom and start hitting the floor. It's like, stop.
The ceiling, you mean?
Exactly. No, I call it the floor because technically it is the floor.
I know. Anyway, carrying on. What were you saying?
The character customization needs some more. PCs of the game are just interchangeable, really. They're not very expressive. They're not very different. They need, they need changes. That's what it is at the end of the day. And lastly, it is very, very clear that Sea of Thieves is in fact intended to be played with many people, many friends, because there are a lot of mechanics in the game in which Sea of Thieves it encourages you to play with friends, such as shooting your friends out of cannons at various areas.
That is the best mechanic I've ever seen, by the way. I love that one.
Yes, it is very funny, and honestly, I wish more games would let you do silly shit with your friends.
Oh god, there was this game that came out a couple of years ago where you could play it, like, no joke, you could play as some big people. Just like
yeah. You sure you're not thinking Ark?
No, like big. It was similar to like TF2 or so. I think I keep wanting to say Loadout.
It might be
because I remember seeing Cryotic play it, and every time you got hurt, bits of you would just come off, but you'd still run like you're just
Yeah.
fine. And one
Yeah,
of the
it's low down.
victory dances was twerking.
Yeah, it's low down. It's low down.
Just, I think of that.
To be quite honest, I think that, yeah, like I said, I don't mind games that take a silly approach to how they
Gameplay.
present themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it at the same time, it's like it's fine to me. It's not my cup of tea, to be honest. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I'm not indifferent. I'm not like saying, eh. I'm just kind of like, okay,
I
it's
think
fine.
a game that does it well has to be Maze. Like
Really?
it acknowledges that it is a very stupid game, and it takes it to the next level, and it's amazing.
All right.
But we're
Well,
not talking about that this episode. Maybe next episode.
Yes. I think we've covered everything. Oh, right. I forgot to mention. I should say this. There is technically an end game to Sea of Thieves. And that
Mhm.
end game is you will want to, well, two, I should say, and that is clearing out skeleton fortresses for epic gear loot.
I've
And
seen footage of that. H2O Delirious did that.
yes, it's kind of difficult. It is very, yeah, it is encouraging for you to have various friends with you
Oh yeah.
fighting and dealing damage to the skeletons, but at the end of the day, that's one of them. And the last one is fighting the game's boss, which is the Kraken.
That is something I'm both looking forward to and not looking forward to.
Hey, Sor.
Hmm?
Sor's in the chat just saying hi.
Oh, hi, Sor.
So, yeah, so we have, those are the major things for the game. And that is basically you wanting to deal with, what's the word? Wanting to kill the Kraken, take back the
Kill the
treasure.
wabbit. Kill the wabbit. That's all I think
No,
of when you say kill anything. That is a copyright song.
doesn't help that you're drawing a derpish goof right
I know.
now. With the, I'm going to say this right now. Why did they make the goof snout so freaking long? Look at that.
It reminds me of the Protoss from StarCraft.
Xeon confirmed supporters of Protoss.
For the swarm.
For this. Oh god, that would be interesting. Swarm infected Gundams. Yes.
That would actually.
All right, I'm going to copyright that and save it for later. But anyway, so yeah, that's everything on Sea of Thieves.
Yep.
So I guess we'll move on to our next topic here.
We don't have to go in order in any of these, by the way. Just pick whatever you want. I don't really care.
Oh, well,
it's just there for like ideas, and of course we're probably gonna be clearing that out.
Yeah. I'm just I like to go in order, so I guess I'll jump around and I'll go straight to the one people like, which is Warframe.
Yeah, Warframe.
Yeah. So the topic is: should DE partner up with an animation studio to create a Warframe movie or TV show?
For those of you who have never heard of Warframe or seen it, Warframe is yeah, thank you, Steam. Warframe is a very futuristic game, and when I list this stuff, I am not joking. You are an alien robot ninja fighting cybernetic human clones, robots, and more aliens.
Yep, pretty much it.
It's like,
yeah, that's about it. We're fighting robot alien death. Anyway.
Oh,
so
good! It can actually capture it.
Oh, good. So we can actually have images up instead of just.
It's actually showing a video on it. But I'm going to share this link in Twitch chat and in the description over on YouTube again.
Yeah. So let everybody know right now, Warframe is free to play. You don't need to pay for the game. However, you do need to, again, with the kicker of any free to play game, they do. Um, there is a premium currency you do need to pay actual money for. Let's get that out there. While Warframe is amazing, there are, it is still companies that need to make money, so it's not perfect.
I could
Anyway.
see on the stream, like, it's showing me cycle through the images, and I find that pretty cool. I'm making sure not to go too fast. Oh, yeah, it's showing the Kavat now. That's what I mean about Alien. A cat.
So lit futuristic. Yeah. That's pretty much it, so. Anyway, so I guess the topic I'm trying to ask here is, sorry, the question that's being asked is, should DE basically start creating more things around Warframe? Like, should they start, how do I put it? Should they start making animations or stories within Warframes, like universe, to help flesh it out a bit more, show some different aspects that we don't normally do? And personally, and again, this is my point of view, I think DE should do this, mostly because the concept would be more appealing to people who probably don't have the time to play the game. And at the same, excuse me 1 second. Sorry,
I think I'm just gonna keep the YouTube stream open, because every time we move to a new topic, I have to reopen it.
All right.
Anyway, carry on.
Just reading something my father sent in the chat. See, gracias, papa. That's the thing I think DE should attempt is maybe make a short, like, even if they have the time, like after they release the new quests and everything, and after they've released the oh my god, what's the name, the new open world, I think DE should release, or I guess you could call it a series involving maybe one of the open worlds having to look through the point of view of one of the civilians, or maybe even an enemy of the series. Just kind of this small things like that to draw the attention, to draw the eye.
Yep.
Of course, this is all like them doing things in house. What if they were to? The second question of this topic, I should probably say, is, should DE partner with a what's it called? With a third party animation studio, like not like Pixar levels. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like something smaller, more their speed, I suppose.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool, but you do have to wonder, like, what kind of story would they go with? Is it going to be like the comic books?
To be honest, if they did try to make a story like the books, like an animation for the quest, and it doesn't, like a trailer for the quest, kind of like what the War Within quest was like, the intro. I think that would be a very smart idea. It could be a 3-minute thing, and it would generate interest from the players, and people would be like, "Oh, what's this?" They'd be speculating, just like with the just like with the War Within quest.
Okay, I need to cut in for a second. What the hell is Lotus language mods?
I don't know.
You're not? I don't think you're looking at the stream, but apparently.
No, I'm looking at the stream. I'm seeing it.
What? Oh my god, there's 4 of them right there.
I will Google this real quick because I'm curious now.
Yeah. Anyway, so far, like, according to the comics, it's before the current timeline in Warframe. Like the latest mission. I'm not even gonna give spoilers here. Like, the latest mission you know what it is when we get the rooms and we see that happen with Lotus. There's speculation that in the comic book they they open something, and that might be why Mr. Freaky Arm showed up.
Oh, you're talking about the Ghoul comic.
Yeah.
Let me clarify this for everyone real quick. So the Warframe comics, there are, by the way, I gave up on the Google search because it's not showing. Oh, gracias. Dad just shared the stream with his Facebook, so more people are seeing this now.
Oh, sweet. Hello. Carry on.
So, gracias. No, gracias, Papa. So, with Warframe's comics, there are two separate comic series, and that is the quest-specific comics, which are one-shot stories to act as an intro into Warframe, into the quest. And then there is a much larger kind of prequel story happening before the first 10 Awakening game. And that is the Ghoul comic. It is basically, it has introduced a new faction. It's introduced a new character, an Ostron child who may or may not be an Orokin. What Vor is, what he did before the first quest of the game, and it's also hinting at that DE might want to make what's it called? Might want to make the Grax skins, the ones a fan made for the game, into canon. Again, this is loose. I'm loosely basing this based on what it says in the comic. Again, I'm not gonna get into that topic because we'd be here all day.
Yeah,
frankly,
we got stuff to do.
yes, we have things to do, chicken to eat. Yeah, I'm looking at the
How do you
stream, I
know
should
that's
say.
a chicken?
Because you would not be able to get away with a object with YouTube. We would be shut down immediately.
I didn't even get that. What?
I said because you would not be able to get away with putting a phallic object in you.
Oh, gods,
Like,
no. But how do you know it's
yeah,
chicken?
because it is the very stereotypical anime chicken.
It could be a turkey leg.
Then it's a turkey leg there.
I said it could be. You don't know.
Well, it's wall meat. That's what it is. Anyway, so with oh, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. The dog is freaking out.
No. It's fine.
Just give me one.
Yeah, we are streaming this in our houses, so this is going to happen. Like, this is not perfect. We have lives that we have to live. God, that sounded so morbid. But no, like you're gonna hear noises on either of our ends, and we'll have to get up for a second, and the host, who has very bad
All right, I'm back.
social anxiety, has to take over until they come back. Hi.
I just got back.
Yeah, just explaining stuff. But yeah,
Anyway,
you were saying.
there's sorry, I should probably read this out real quick. Hello, Bill. Hey, Sor. To be honest, dinner or something. I'll be like, she's got potatoes in the pan. Really?
You kind of cut out there. What?
Sorry, I was reading Sor's message. All right, she's got potatoes in the pan.
Nice.
This is why I like streams, because people come in, say hi, and actually have more to talk about.
Plus, like you get the understanding of that. People are people. They have lives.
Exactly.
Like there might be a moment where I have to mute myself because my mom will come downstairs thinking I can hear her.
Mm-hmm. So back on topic. So the comics are very much divided into these like two separate concepts, ideas, etc., etc. Now that said, it's very clear that DE wants to explore stories outside of the games. That's very obvious based on um, what they're doing with the comics, and it's not a bad. In my opinion, it's not a bad idea. Personally, I think it's kind of like with what World of Warcraft does with like the novels they make and some of the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Like they purposely make them to expand on the series.
I am not
What's going on?
adding World of Warcraft to the search
Oh
link
no
because
no
we
no.
are going to be flooded by weird people.
Yeah, it's like no. I'm just bringing this as an example. WoW does add stories that explain like what happens, how to quests suddenly change from point A to point B, and it's very smart. And I think personally, Warframe should incorporate this as well. And this is Warframe specifically. Um, Warframe. What's the word I'm looking for? Warframe specifically has been a series where it has a story, it has lore behind it, but DE has not
Touched on it.
exactly. It's been very
Very,
secretive.
yeah, very
Oh,
hush.
exactly, and it's always been this whole thing of like, oh, here's this tease, and then here's this, and Mark Gillis is actually this, that kind of.
But
And
again,
while
we're not going to give spoilers. We're just going to give like vague stuff. So you can,
yeah,
if you do decide to play the game, you'll figure it out on your own. Either enjoy it or hate it.
exactly, and
I am hoping you hate it. Not really.
no, actually, I'm going to break up just one quick second because since we're talking about Warframe, um, I'm going to talk about this. And yes, it is a story. What happened with myself and my father when we first played the game?
Oh gods, and he's in the chat
True.
too.
Yes, so he can react in real time.
This is your ultimate goal.
My ultimate goal to completely put my father.
But it doesn't help that you're cutting out time to time.
No, just let me know when I cut out so I can just pick up. But so this is a true story, and I do want to say this. I know it's slightly off topic, but it's our stream. I'm gonna go off topic as much as I want.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so when my father and I first started playing the
Cut out.
various, when my father and I started playing the game, we went through various different maps. We started fighting the Grenier, the Corpus, the typical. And the
Fuck the
last time we
Grenier.
played, and last time we played, it was on a Corpus map. It was one of the Arctic ones. And
Ooh.
the map where there's a bunch of like ships in a hangar bay, and you have to like jump around or take the
Yeah.
elevators up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so I had gotten up to one of the upper levels during during that area, and my father was down below. We were doing like a little resource farming, and I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Oh, here's some resources you might need," and he continued to fail the bullet jump. He continued to try and reach the area I was standing on, and it had gotten so bad that I actually sat down in game and just kind of waited for him to keep trying over and over and over. And I was dying from laughter because he was coming close, but he kept falling. And then finally, when he reached the last, when he finally reached the level I was on, he broke his. And then
Cut
as
out.
he finally reached the level I was on. He's like, yes, finally. He starts destroying the resources to collect them. And then I'm like, okay, now you figure out your way down while I take the elevator down. I left him up there and he's like, wait, what? What? He was stuttering. He was like, he wasn't even mad. He was more like, what? There was no, and then finally he asked me, why didn't you tell me there was an elevator here? And I said, well, you didn't ask.
That is something people always. That's just, this is the thing. Like, if you want to know how to do this, you could have just asked. Just, dear God, save yourself from the pain and ask. Don't get mad at the person.
Yeah, I mean, no, he wasn't mad with me.
I
He was
know,
more
but
just
other people do that.
no, and this is why I love playing with my dad. He just takes everything in stride. He's not one of those try hards of I must beat my son at this virtual game because I must. It's never been like. And I honestly enjoy whenever we do play Warframe. It is fun to see his reactions and question how do I do this? How do I take that out? It's always a fun time. But anyway, going back to the topic at hand. Personally, I do think DE should either create a either a novel of Warframe in which it kind of explains some things, not a lot of things, mind you, just like various what's the word? Various things. Maybe it could be um, what happened between the end of the
End of the Orokin Empire?
to now the quote unquote modern Warframe.
Yeah.
That's either what they should do, or they should.
They should what?
Well, actually, there was an original concept for Dark Sectors, which was going to be Warframe before Warframe, and in that concept, um, it was very much the same as Warframe. Like a lot of the props and maps used were nearly identical to oh god, nearly identical to what we have now, just a little bit lower quality texture and things like that. And when DE released it, they cleaned it up a bit, and it very much looks like a period between the Orokin Empire and the modern, just as the Grineer are slowly starting to rise up, and like the Corpus aren't as powerful as they are now.
Fuck the Grineer.
And this is why I think, and personally, I think DE should either make a micro series, going back to the animation idea, a micro series of that that original concept. What happened? How did the Grineer, rise up? What was going on in between the periods? Was Lotus active? Was this happening? This kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think that is what should happen moving forward with Warframe. I really do think they should continue. But at the same,
Continue.
Mhm.
Continue what?
Sorry,
I'm
continue.
I'm pointing out wherever you cut out. So
Okay, I see. I think DE should continue with the comics. Both the Ghoul comic and the Micro Quest comics. That should be a thing. And if they ever do partner up with an animation studio, again, it doesn't have to be.
doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be Pixar. It doesn't have to be.
Definitely don't go with Disney.
No, it
Do
doesn't have
not
to be
go
that.
with Disney. Dear gods, what is wrong with you?
It doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be like Toho or any high-class Japanese animation studio, even though that would be preferable. But
Toho does not make animations.
I mean, not Toho. Oh God, what was the other one? Hold on. It's on the tip
You're
of my
not talking
tongue.
about the epic movie one, are you?
Epic movie.
Ghibli?
Yeah, Studio Ghibli. That was it.
No. I don't think they don't. No, they're done.
No, I get that. I meant to. I was trying to use them as an example. I'm not saying, oh, they should partner with Toho, even though Toho. I said it again. Ghibli. I don't think they should partner with Ghibli. I think Ghibli or a Ghibli-like studio. It's fine. Hell, even if they wanted to create a Warframe, what would be honestly crazy? Warframe, like a Warframe Power Ranger. That would be insane.
No. That would be awful.
No, I'm not saying with Power Ranger. I'm saying like the series, Super Sentai. That's what I meant to say.
Oh, those guys are funny.
Oh yeah.
They're
Or
they're very funny.
yeah, and like I said, I have no. If DE wants to create a Warframe live action series as either a goof as in joke, not the mobile. See, this is the downside of having this on screen because now every time I say goof, everyone's got. Oh, you mean the? I was like, no.
Oh, you mean this derpy chibi with a plate on his head?
Eh, no. I'm talking, if they want to make it as a joke, silly little thing or whatever, DE should. But again, as a joke. Still, I guess I've rambled on enough.
Yeah, we've been on this topic for a while, but
All right, all right.
that's understandable. It is a podcast.
Yeah, well, like I said, if people want to, like I said, I do want to say this real quick before I forget. I do want to. I would love to send these kind of like ideas and questions to DE. And even if it's in question format or whatever, as fan mail, I wouldn't mind doing that and seeing if they'd be up for the idea. I mean, if they would, then yay. See, hold on. Compliment from my father. The girl has a lot. The girl is very talented at drawing.
Thank you. I've actually been drawing since I was 2. And that is a topic I'd rather not get into because that is actually very personal and painful to remember.
Also extremely embarrassing. Have you seen the shit I've made? No.
Oh, no. It's just painful to remember because somebody who encouraged me to draw is no longer here.
Okay, it's one of those.
Yeah. Anyway,
all right. So,
we're going to finally move away from this topic.
I was about to say, and we're moving on.
And we're back. Bang. And we're
gone. You want to try one of your topics? Since I've been rambling for so long.
I am gonna say this right now because I just realized what I had just done for showing Warframe. Just because my Steam name is showing up, do not send me a friend request unless I know you personally. So please don't do that. You remember those 3D models we put up on the workshop for Gary's mod?
Oh yeah,
as soon as those went up, it was just like friend request. Please be my friend, please. And when I do accept one, they go, "Hey, can you make this model?"
Oh God, yes, I know that feeling.
I draw the models. I don't make them. Please don't do that. I am stressed as it is. But yeah, focusing.
Hold on. You should just like when that was happening, change your Steam name to I don't
want to change my Steam name anymore. I'm keeping it as it is.
Okay.
But if you send me a friend request, I'm gonna block you. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. If you do that, I'm gonna block you. Unless Rev or somebody in the group can verify for you. Otherwise, don't do it.
Yes.
Continuing.
Right. So what's the topic you want to try?
How about the last one?
Ghost of a Tale at First Glance?
We've been talking about like beautifully designed games this entire moment, so why not segue right into an equally beautiful game?
All right. I'm. To be fair, I've not looked too much into Ghost of a Tale. Again, mostly because I've been busy as all hell. But I am looking at the images now from the Google images, and it looks good.
It is a beautiful game. It just recently came out, and apparently it's been in development for a while. Basically, this game is a rogue. It's a roguelike game. You sneak around, you avoid guards. You're not a fighter, but you can knock them out with like objects you pick up, and you can distract them. And you're playing this entire game as a mouse, an adorable little mouse.
Actually, hold on a second. Wasn't there a book series out there where it
Redwall.
was like no, not that one. It was a different series where um the protagonist was a mouse and they liked they weren't like other mice. They liked humans and it was all about soup. And then towards the end of the book, the poor thing loses his tail and he falls into flour and becomes like ghostly white. So I'm
Oh,
trying to
oh,
remember.
oh, 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 Tale of Despero.
That's
That's
it.
the one. That's also a movie. I love that movie.
I read.
Thank
I
you,
actually
Snow. Thank
read.
you. Yes, Tale of Despero. That's it.
Yeah, I remember reading the book and I enjoyed it.
It's also a movie with Matthew Broderick as the voice actor. Anyway, this game is
Mhm.
adorable, but it is absolutely stunning. And I
Yeah.
believe Paul Soares Jr. is doing a playthrough of it, and so is Wanderbots. But the way Paul Soares Jr. described it is it's like the early Thief games,
Oh, so
where
it's like sneaking around.
yeah, you have to sneak around because you don't fight. You're just a teeny tiny little mouse minstrel, and you're trying to. And I didn't get very far in watching the Let's Plays, especially Wanderbots. Something about it was bothering me, but
Hmm.
you're on this quest. You're trying to figure something out. You're trying to find somebody, trying to figure out the truth as to why you were imprisoned in the beginning. It's an interesting game, and the guards are very dumb. But
Yes,
the more you watch somebody play it, the more you think of like old childhood stories, you know, like Red Wall, The Secret of Nim, Tale of Despero, things like that. It relates very well.
it's a weird sort of like it's like watching your
For watching
so,
your you cut
I'm
out
sorry.
watching your what?
It's like watching your childhood but fully realized. Like you know how when you're things in your mind, but nobody else can see it. It's kind of like that, but
It really sparks your imagination.
yes, that's it. My only concern is that as much as like this game looks nice and everything, my major concern is I'm worried that this game has a very like this looks good, this looks amazing. I'm just worried there's something terrible that's going to happen in the game, like to the
I know.
protagonist.
What I like is that
And I would
this
go ahead.
I love this game. Like it's really hard for me to see the negatives in certain games, except for maybe like Wildlife Park 2, but we're not going to get into that. We're definitely not going to get into that. No. We're going to be here for ages. But
Okay.
I like that this game does subtle hints of things that are in real life. Like you're wrongfully imprisoned for something that you didn't do. Uh, plus like the mouse culture, like you know how in the Middle East, like you had these ladies that wear these
Burkas,
cloths.
yes.
They wear these
Yeah, the
cloths
burqa.
over their heads. Not no. I don't remember the actual term, but I don't think it's burqa.
Oh no, hijab, hijab. That's it.
No, that's something else either. Oh
No,
wait,
it's
no,
that's the cloth over the
that
head.
is. Never mind.
I was like, what are you talking
Ignore
about? I was
me.
like, I know what I'm talking.
Ignore me. Sorry. But what I like is that um, the mouse culture follows that. Every mouse wears a hood, and you can't recognize them without their hood.
Hmm.
But then you have like the setting of medieval. It's fantasy. It's Redwall. Video
Yeah.
unavailable.
Hold on. No, I can still see it. Am I going
Yeah,
your way?
it's just on my end.
Yeah,
But
I hate that so much.
I love the design for the characters. I'm interested in the mechanics. I would love to play this game, but it's so HD.
That will destroy your computer.
Yes, at least it's not black sand.
No, I'll say this. From the images I'm specifically, it scream. There is a culture, there is vibrancy, there is a difference between what you're playing and who you're playing with. and this is something I always will champion about games. Is not only do you make your protagonist relatable, but you give the world the life it needs. You flesh out the rules of the world, the religion of some of the factions, or their philosophies. You flesh out who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, the grays in between the people you're fighting with versus the people you're working with. You get this sense of this is a living, breathing world, and for a moment you could forget yourself. You could imagine being there. You could put yourself in this world and be like, yes, this is familiar, this is home to me. And that is something I feel a lot of games
What I like is that,
nowadays.
and I'm going to be saying this a lot for this game. What I like is that when you talk to characters, they actually have footnotes, so you can understand the world better. Like there's so
Exactly.
many footnotes in it. And I've actually come to start saying scrunt, which is a very, very offensive word in this game. In fact, like when you read the footnotes, it's too offensive to translate.
But wait, is this like a direct?
It doesn't even tell you what the word means. It's just a very, very bad word.
Again, you see, it's these little give the world that personality, that life to it, and I'm very happy about it. And I'll say this real quick, like while on the topic of making the enemies and the allies of the world more fleshed out, I'm going to use this as an example. Um, in the game series Killzone, right?
Mm-hmm.
The main enemies you're fighting against are called Hellghast, and at first glance they're very evil, they're very mean people, guys in gas masks with red eyes and these British accents, and you think, oh, they're mean, they're evil, they're
Because
disgusting.
anybody with a
But
British
then
accent is evil, apparently.
exactly, it's hard cut to Star Wars and all the British men in
Hard cut to James Bond.
it. But no, I'll say this. But as you
And Titanfall.
go and Titanfall, well, technically, I suppose. I mean,
Technically, yeah.
there is a robot who is evil. So she's white, but she's like metallic white. So I don't think that counts.
Anyway.
But but as you go through the game and as you kind of like hear the Helgen propaganda and translate some of the posters along the walls, you start to realize that they're not in it for senseless conquest or destruction. It's mostly because they want independency and they want to live by themselves. They're very xenophobic, much like the Grenier, but they're not. They're willing to cooperate with others if it means they can get along with as doing things as they see fit. And
Isn't
you really gotta go
isn't
ahead.
it kind of like the underlying thing with the Empire in Star Wars?
The Empire in Star Wars, more like before the Empire rose, the galaxy was more chaotic because of the bureaucracy of the Republic, where the Empire is more stricter and brings order
Oh.
to me. It brings a law and order into a lot of the more planets in Star Wars, like Tatooine, for example. Before, during the Republic era, slavery was rampant. People, fled there, very nasty criminals. Then, when the Empire arrives, they start stationing garrisons, prisons, these kinds of things. And the crime on Tatooine actually dropped to, I want to say, 50%.
That's a
So, was
desert
the
planet. So
Empire.
that's a desert planet. That's wow.
Yeah, so was the Empire really that? Hmm?
It had its moments of being absolutely horrifying, but at the same time, it
Yes.
was good. But we are not focusing on Star Wars because we will be here for 6,000 years. Quite
Yes.
literally. And I don't. This is a problem about doing a podcast like this because we have opinions on things, but sometimes our opinions will get people who don't understand that we are entitled to opinions and we understand and respect other people's. But this is how we view it, and you don't need to shove your dick down our throats.
Colorful language.
I know, but my
Right.
first YouTube channel got shut down because I shared an opinion.
Yes, it's wonderful. It's like I
That
don't.
was like the worst thing. I had 1,000 subscribers.
Whoever did that, you're still a dick.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you
Anyway,
know
let's
that.
let's focus on Ghost of a Tale, because dear gods,
Yes.
this is it with us. We suddenly we just branch off into random locations. Somehow we will go from a video game to a movie that has no relation to suddenly pizza.
To suddenly exactly in that
Spontaneous
order.
pizza.
In that order, to be specific.
Haven't we had like a conversation like that before? I feel like we
I think
have.
so. In the first true episode of Left for Random, we devolved so much that we eventually started talking about the differences between Pizza Hut and Domino's pizzas.
I don't want to get into that, but I do have an opinion on that one too, and especially Little Caesars. But
You see,
focus,
there you go. It
focus,
begins.
focus.
Agreed.
Yes,
Agreed.
Bill.
So,
Yes, Bill. Yeah, we're
I'll
entitled to have opinions. We respect other people's. We have our own. Shut the hell up.
exactly. Agree to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
There.
It's like the funny joke. Can't we all just get along as people are kicking each other's asses?
Exactly.
But yeah, Ghost of a Tale has been in development for a long time, and it has recently been released, and it's a beautiful game. I would definitely recommend to those who like to do stealthy, sneaky games and like to figure out how to get through areas without being caught. Like if you played Metal Gear Solid, like early years, this is definitely a good game. I would definitely recommend it.
Or I would say Splinter Cell 2.
Yeah,
By the way,
I remember that. Yeah.
I want to say this though, and this is a bit of a solemn moment, and I have to say this now. Sam Fisher has acknowledged is actually devastating because apparently Solid Snake or Big Boss has officially retired, and now he is the last true stealth infiltrator, and he is devastated.
Oh,
My hat's off to you, my good sir.
your stealth. You called? Thank you. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this game. It's like $25 on Steam. It's a beautiful game. Oh, there's even Chinese localization. Sorry, focusing.
And there's Chinese support.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's a beautiful and adorable game. But just make sure you have a good computer for it, and that you understand there's more to this game than just sneaking around. There is a story.
Exactly.
Also, burn down every purple banner you see, but be careful. Yeah. Yeah. That's
Okay.
Ghost of a Tale. We're gonna take a quick break because I am getting lightheaded, and
All right.
I need to get something to eat.
Like what? So, like a 15-minute break, something like that.
Oh no! I'm gonna be playing the intro music again on repeat, and if that gets annoying for you, feel free to mute the stream. We don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I really need to get up and get something to eat.
All right.
I need to.
All right. Just a quick. I'm just gonna give everyone a quick update, real quick on our topics. The last ones we have to do are: should old games be remade? Should fan games be canon? Voxel games and impressions on Far Cry. So, in about, what do you want to say? 10, 15, something like that, a few minutes.
5 minutes, maybe.
All right, in like 5 minutes, we'll be right back and get on with it.
Yep, just let me draw a little "we'll be right back" image.
Right above the coffee tables. Or, sorry, the boxes that we're using.
Hold on, I have not closed it out yet. I'm still doodling.
The stream is still showing Ghost of a Tale Steam page, though.
Oh, I know. I haven't changed it over yet.
Oh, okay. I thought for a
Like
second.
I said, I'm still drawing. We are still going. I'm gonna mute my mic, I'm going to close the call in Discord, and then I'll let you know when we're back. Okay?
All right. Well, I might also go get some lights. Again, there's not much food in the house at the moment, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
We'll see you
we'll be
guys in a
right
bit.
back, guys.
5-minute break.
All right. See ya.
Okay. Raise that back up. Start the voice call. So if you hear anything strange on my end, I'm still eating.
Can you hear me?
Yep, hello.
All right. Hello. Can they hear us?
Oh yeah, I brought everything back. Best part is that they can hear you at any time when I mute my mic, but but not when we're like having a break.
All right. Cool. Oh, hey everybody. We're back.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we're back. I can take us off the dead people screen. Screen.
The dead people's been nice. All right. Let's see here. On to our. So, like I said before, we've got about 1, 2, 3, 4 topics left. So,
To recap, we have talked about Ghost of a Tale, which we kind of went on a weird tangent, almost went off topic. We
yes.
talked about Digital Extremes, the creators of Warframe, possibly making a Warframe movie or TV show. It was just an idea. And we have talked about Sea of Thieves, which is a very pretty game.
But it's just like No Man's Sky.
Mm-hmm. I'm
So,
still
I
eating, by
guess.
the way, so you might hear weird noises. It's a
All
casserole.
right. So, what should be the next topic?
You've had 2 topics. I've had 1, so let's go with one of my topics.
All right, shoot.
Well, technically one of them is 2 different games in one, but I don't want to focus on that yet because we're gonna lose track again. How about impressions on yet another Far Cry game?
Oh boy, we've got to be a bit careful on that one because it is like semi-political dynamite.
And also the game costs so much. Holy cow! But recently, I forget the name of the Ubisoft. That's it. That's the name. I always get them mixed up. Recently, Ubisoft released yet another Far Cry game. There have been so many now. So many.
5 in total.
This is the 5th one, yes. And I don't mind the games. I really don't. Like, they are very pretty. But there's just so many now. They keep releasing more and more and more.
They're turning it into the next Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
That's
Holy
exactly
crap, it's in Montana.
And with that, that explains everything.
Well, no. It's just like, this is like a very ironic thing for me. I used to help out at a bead store, and the lady that owns the bead store always praises Montana. Always.
Oh, dear.
She never, like every 5 minutes she'll start talking about it.
I wonder what her reaction is to this game. Is she so angry right now?
Oh, no. She doesn't even know I'm streaming. In fact,
Oh, no,
she's probably driving home right now.
No, I want to know if she found out about the game setting, not from us, but just from anywhere. Is she like just foaming at the mouth with rage?
No.
All right.
She'd love it. But like,
Go ahead.
I pointed out to my friend who works at the bead store as well. Don't ever tell her that there is a game called Finding Bigfoot where you kill Bigfoot. And don't tell her about Far Cry having like offshoot adventures to kill Bigfoot. Because this lady praises Bigfoot like no tomorrow, and that I don't really care.
I have a few things to talk about Far Cry 5, and I guess Far Cry in general. I should probably start off with, in my point of view, I never played Far Cry 1 or 2. In fact, I've never played any of the Far Cry games, really. But I have, heard the reviews, I have seen the games, and,
No.
what?
I'm reading chat. Like Far Cry 3 main villain was pretty good, I guess.
Voss, yes.
Yeah.
Voss was interesting. It was a weird combination of like the Joker meets a competent villain.
Meets like a villain from BioShock.
Exactly. Yes, that's a perfect way of putting it.
That's the only thing I thought of when I saw like people posting gifs of it.
Yes, Voss is BioShock's Joker. That's the best way to describe it, at least in my point. I did see Far Cry 3. I did go through the game, or, go through as in the cutscenes on YouTube, because I don't have that kind of money
Because
to
fuck
burn.
that noise.
Yeah, but I did like the game. I thought it was very interesting, and what it had to offer story wise was very very compelling. It is just like a classic English novel where a group of sailors travels to this island and the locals treat them extremely well, and they don't want to go back home because why would they return to the mundane lives they have? They've tasted paradise. Why return to Earth, Eden, as it were? And that's exactly what Far Cry 3 really does feel like. It feels like that. It gives you that feeling, that sense of adventure. And the ending, or at least the good ending of Far Cry 3, actually treats the player with respect and says, yes, even though you are this badass killing machine, you're still, you have to get yourself out of that. You got to pull your head out of this war and come up for breath again. You got to return to who you were.
This topic is about Far Cry 5. Just pointing everybody
Yes.
out. It's still very much about that. I like that this,
I'm
the
getting
new
to that.
game has more pictures of dogs than it does of people. This is the second or third image of a dog I've seen.
Now, comically enough, well, there's one thing I don't like about it, and the games, one of the dog enemies you fight in the game are pit bulls, and I don't like that because come
I
on,
hate that. No. Why?
they're not bad dogs, people. They're good.
They are very good dogs. They're nanny dogs.
They are the most bowl kind of dog you will ever see. Believe me,
Anyway.
and we've owned a few.
Oh yeah. I've
But
known quite a few as well. They're very nice dogs.
yes, but go back to what I was saying. And Far Cry 3 was all right.
Yes, all dogs are good boys.
Yes.
Just like every single dog, no matter how old they are puppies.
But Far Cry, Far Cry Blood Dragon, it was its own, it was its own thing. It was not trying to take itself seriously, and honestly, for what it was, it could have been its own game. Personally, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's where Far Cry 4, that's where it starts kind of treating the player like shit.
Yeah.
And it's like this is what annoys me. It's just in the game, you join up with this this weird rebellion to overthrow a dictator, but your allies are just completely horrible. Like they're worse than the dictator somehow. And what sucks is you can't be rid of them. I mean, you could kill them in the game, but after after what's done is done, there's really no point. It's either you turn the country into a religious regressive country where intellectuality is suppressed in favor of quote unquote religious freedoms, or you turn the country into a massive drug peddling, the syndicate nation.
There is no middle road.
Ironically enough, the only middle road is by sitting down at the beginning of the game and just waiting 5 minutes. That's literally it. And that is the only saving grace of the game. In my opinion, that's fine. I didn't mind it. The Yeti story continues that whole treating the player like shit, because after you finish it, you become a Yeti. You get cursed with the same item you were trying to salvage. It's like, so the cycle continues. Wonderful. Far Cry Primal kind of changes up that dynamic of.
That's the one where you're hunting mammoths, I believe.
Yeah, hold on
that one didn't make sense.
one second. CSOR. Yeah, it didn't make sense because it just kind of felt like this was an Assassin's Creed they just kind of botched and said, you know what, fuck it, just throw it out there. Make it Far Cry.
Yeah.
It didn't look that good.
I'm looking at all the images for Far Cry 5 and I'm thinking, oh my god, that is America.
Yes, that is.
This is
really
painfully America. But what's bothering me about all of this, that white truck is in almost every image.
Yeah, these guys use like white vehicles with like this weird golden cross paint.
Like
Again,
I have a vague idea of what this game is like. Like I'm seeing there's a lot of religious stuff, but I have opinions on that. I don't want to get into it because that is the worst
you know what? No,
nest of wasps
no,
to ever
no.
dive into.
No, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to put this very briefly for Far Cry 5. And you know what? In fact, here's everyone's spoiler alert. This is the warning right now.
Hold on. Let me open up new image.
Oh, you're doing a new image. Like to warn everyone.
I'm still on correction 40.
Again, let me be completely clear. I've not played the game. I have zero interest in playing this game. Not because of the political dynamite in it. No, that's
Okay.
not it. It's
Mute. Spoiler worm is here. If you see spoiler worm, mute the video if you don't want spoilers.
Really?
Just go with it. I'm drawing this as a robot and a duck.
So Far Cry 5 has technically 3 endings. The first ending, well, basically you destroy the entire cult until you face the father of the cult. Like you destroy his family, you destroy his flock, blah 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 blah. Then he attacks your friends and then uses this weird chemical which makes them into weird fanatic cultists like people. By the way, let me clear this up as well. You are a state trooper too. Like you're a police officer. Your whole thing is that you're trying to arrest this guy.
Yay.
So here are the 2 options you get for the end of the game. He basically has your other friends captive too. And he tells you, okay, you can leave me to my flock and everything like that, and I won't kill your friends, or we fight and everyone dies. I'm going with the bad ending first. If you choose to fight him, you kill all the friends of the state you had, not your police friends, just your state friends. You kill them all and you arrest the guy. He then detonates a nuclear warhead somewhere. It's never explained. It's never brought up. He just has a nuclear warhead somewhere. He detonates it and then triggers like Armageddon. You and the others then drive to this bunker that another of your friends has to protect yourselves from it. As you're driving, the forest is exploding with fire and everything. The car crashes. Everyone except you and the father are dead. By the way, should also mention you are a woman in this game, which is kind of the first for the Far Cry series. So.
Nice.
But then he kills your friend in the bunker. He handcuffs you. He then gets creepy and explains like, oh, I told you the end of the world was coming, blah blah blah. I was planning on having my family here so we would survive this whole post-apocalyptic bullshit thing. And then he basically says in this very creepy way, you are now my family, blah blah blah. It's very much hinted at that he's planning on repopulating the earth with you.
Ew.
It's heavy tones of rape, and it's just like
no.
Yeah. So
that is definitely not something. I'm just gonna point this out, and this is because of Twitch. if it's gonna be something like that, Rev, don't bring it up ever.
Oh no, this was the worst of it. Like literally, this was the only point I had to bring up about that. The other two endings, a lot better, or better in quotes, I should say. The good ending, where you choose not to fight him and kill him, he then, like a preacher, forgives you of your sins, which I'm like, okay. You then leave with your friends. He actually lets you leave. You all drive away, even though one of your friends is protesting, saying we came to arrest this man. You all drive away, and then as you're driving away, the veteran of your group, the veteran police officer, basically says, "We're not leaving this. We're leaving, but we're not letting this son of a bitch get away with it. We're going to call the National Guard, call everyone, and we're going to basically burn the whole place to the ground and just capture the guy." Also, should mention that in the entire game, apparently your character is some sort of weird experimental super soldier, and a certain song triggers you to go into like psychotic rage, and then that plays on the radio, and it's heavily implied that you might have killed everyone in the car.
What the fuck?
I don't know. And the last ending is basically
fuck Ubisoft.
No, and the last one is basically you do get the federal troopers to come with you. Sorry, not federal. A Coast Guard soldier to come with you to investigate, and it's basically just Outlast 2. They literally ripped off Outlast 2 for this last ending, right down to the point where once again you just walk away from the cult because you just wanted to show the Coast Guard guy how dangerous this religious cult leader was, and that if they arrest him, everyone dies. It's confusing, it's annoying, and it's like, oh, buy our DLC and buy the That's what it is. That's what it is.
Can I put the spoiler worm away now?
Yeah, because that's it. There's literally nothing else to this game. Every other possible spoiler I could do is just no. It's just, this is why I think, like I said, Far Cry 5 does not respect the player. This is what I'm talking about with the Far Cry games. They've been slowly just basically spitting in the face of the player base, saying, "Oh, you're not special. Oh, you're not me. Oh, you know."
Mm-hmm.
All for the sake of subversion and your expectations and blah 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 blah. It's like I'm gonna
Blah,
say
blah,
this right
blah.
now. Exactly. I'm gonna say this right now, people. Don't buy Far Cry 5. Not because of the political crap attached to it. Not because of the this and this. No, it's a bad game. Technically, it works good and it might be fun as all hell and whatever else have you. But no, unless you're prepared to be treated like absolute crap from beginning to end, just don't bother. Don't bother getting this game. This has been Rev's seal of disapproval.
Yep.
Five.
Podcast over. Nope. Forever.
No, podcast over. Tune in next week when we next game.
Where we tear apart the next game. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna move away from Far Cry for now. Hopefully. You want to go with one of your topics now?
Yeah,
While
sure.
I continue drawing.
Yeah. So let's see what's left. Oh, I guess this would be a good one. Should old games like PS2 and PS1 era games be remade, or should they be as they
Left as they are.
Yeah, like as old games.
Oh, this one is so tricky. It is so tricky. There are so many games from like a long time ago that I would love to see be remade. Like this is one that I remember I watched Cryotic play it.
Mm-hmm.
Legend of the Dragoon. That
Oh
needs
yeah,
to be made HD because that was such a good game.
yeah. I've heard good things about that series. I never played it. I just heard things about it.
Surprisingly, it was a lot better than Final Fantasy.
I smell corporate sabotage.
Well, it's just they designed it in a way, like they ended it in a way where there was no way they could ever have a sequel.
Oh, so the story just ends.
Yeah. The good
Okay, I guess
guy
that's fine.
wins, he gets the girl, stuff like that. It's the usual.
Yeah.
But it was a very nice game. It was a very nice concept. Like
No, there's nothing.
I loved the game, and I know that Bill
If he's still
knows the
there.
game. He probably is. Currently a game that is being refurbished for like the new stuff is Spyro. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I have. I've seen the trailers for the remakes of Spyro. I'm happy for
Reignited.
that.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I loved those games.
Yeah, I mean, I'm. Give me one quick.
But there are some games that don't need to be remade in HD. I'm looking at Final Fantasy. We have so many of those, we don't need
And
more.
I'm back.
Yeah, hi.
Uh, personally, and again, this is more along what I used to play a lot as a kid. Was aside from Spyro, obviously, I did like playing a lot of the PS2 horror games, and this was like obviously my mother was very. She never wanted me to play video games as a kid because she always thought like, oh, it's evil, and it'll turn my child destructive and diabolical, just bullshit like that.
My immediate thought is one that doesn't need a remake because it's been remade so many times is Resident Evil.
I disagree. Yeah, I agree with that. Like we have Resident Evil remake, the Dark Side Chronicles,
And remake remaster.
I will say this though, the only I
Shadow of
think
the
personally,
Colossus, that's another good one. Yeah. I'm looking at
yeah, that
chat
has
again.
been remade. No, I'll say this in the Resident Evil wise. I don't mind remaking them. I just wish they would give one-to-one remake of Resident Evils 2 and 3. Those are the only games that have never gotten a remaster like remake. And
Yeah.
it's sad. Because those games are quite creative and fun. And it's like, no, fuck you. We
No,
don't
instead
care.
have 6.
Resident Evil 6 and then 7 and then
Where a lady just explodes into goo all over a battleship.
for some reason.
Yeah.
I in my opinion, I did play a lot of Resident Evil like game growing up, and like Dino Crisis, for example.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
I know that there was the third game came out for the Xbox, and that looked amazing. But I'm talking more like could we get a remake of 1 and 2? Because those are still very much in the Resident Evil pixelated dimension.
Mm-hmm.
I personally I would like to see a lot of the more obscure games getting remasters. Again, like I said, the Resident Evil clones. Mostly because I think they're creative and it would be very fun to
It's
see.
a genre that is being killed by itself.
Exactly.
By Resident Evil itself.
Yeah. So just bring back the
good stuff.
Yeah, the like I said, the clones of Resident Evil, the games that just tried to copy what was popular. And I wouldn't be surprised if they were popular enough, they would finally get a much deserved sequel moving forward.
Silent Hill.
Oh god, Silent Hill has never
That one has not been touched.
No, I'm talking about the series in general. It has been diluted to the point of it's like, what is this now?
Yeah.
No, actually, funnily enough, Silent Hill has been remade. Well, technically, two and three to be specific. And the remake is atrocious. For example, they couldn't get the original voice actors back, mostly because Capcom didn't want to pay them. they tried to swindle them out of the money they were owed. And so, they said, no, pay us because they screwed them with the first contract, which meant they didn't get any of the residuals or any of the royalties for the game when it became popular. So, they were just basically stuck doing whatever else they could. And this time, they tried to do it again. And the people said, no, you're not doing that again. You're going to give us the royalties you owe us, or we're not going to do it. Capcom says, right, fine, we'll just hire a bunch of randos off the street and make this remake without you.
Yeah, it seems to be a problem with a lot of games and movies and TV shows.
Oh, no. The remake of Silent Hill 2 and 3, when it comes to the voice actors, is horrible. Like Heather, for example, the girl for 3, she does not sound like a teenager. She sounds like a 30-year-old woman trying to do a teenager's voice. James Sunderland, the guy of Resident Evil 2, sounds way too calm now. Like he's some sort of sociopath. Where before he was like very shaken and very confused of what was going on. It's horrendous. And I'm not even, and not only that, but the creative aspect, specifically like when they started touching up the remake, they removed the fog effects of the games.
What?
So you can see everything now. You see where the levels end. You see when the enemies pop in.
That's the whole focus of the game.
Exactly. And they're like, no, just remove it. Because they thought it was some sort of graphical error with the game. Because technically, Silent Hill did have the fog to hide rendering. But now they're like, oh, we can remove it now and just have the game look atmospheric without the fog. It's like, no, you can't. You've now ruined the game. All the flaws are shown. Like when you go to the lake in Silent Hill 2, you can see where the water ends on the map.
I used to love finding those in other games.
It's oh my god.
I know. Why? Why?
And it's not only that, but you also got like 100 different issues, like sound effects, for example, are not like mixed properly. Like when characters walk on metal grates, it sounds like they're banging. Like it sounds like if your head is in a pot and someone's smacking it with a metal spoon. That is how loud and obnoxious it is. Like you have to actually lower your video game's volume in order to hear anything and not have your ear.
Yeah, that does not sound good at all.
The entire remake so horrendously done and botched from beginning to end that a lot of people claim that this is the death of Silent Hill. And honestly, I don't think I can't blame them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll be honest, Silent Hill has been on a decline for years and years now. And this remake situation is basically just the nail in the coffin. That's it. There is no saving it anymore.
Yeah.
So going to the topic of should some old games be remade, I say, this is me, I say yes, but it has to be done right. You can't just slap together a new engine and rush it out to launch and try to make a quick buck on it. It will end poorly and people will hate you. Do it like Shadow of the Colossus did. Take what exists, update the textures, update some of the collision, and that is it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Don't try to change anything. Don't try to add. Take what was there, fix it up, make it look pretty, and release.
No, better yet, do what Conker's Bad Fur Day did, and that's pushing it because that was a very weird game.
Mm-hmm.
Do what they did. They updated the graphics. They added in some more dialogue. They changed some of the the game mechanics so it was easier in some places and harder in others. They kind of cleaned up like the swearing, though that kind of was their downfall there.
Exactly.
But the new game was so good.
In my opinion, and like I said, but this is a concept of acknowledging faults and saying, we want to improve this, we want to change that, and we want to make this better than before. In the case of Capcom and Silent Hill, this was a case of butting in, demanding change for the sake of change instead of a simple remake, and then thinking and trying to squeeze the player base and the fans out of money, thinking they can just throw out a crappy product and expect people not to be offended by it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like developers learn this lesson well. The fans are your source of money, but they are sentient, they are aware, and they will destroy you if you disrespect them. It is a social contract of respect. And if you break that contract, you deserve whatever befalls you.
I remember watching co-optional. That was it. They actually had a conversation like this about Capcom.
Really?
It was because of like Resident Evil or something. It's just like the way Capcom treats its fan base, it's awful. It's like the fan base aren't even humans.
Exactly.
And it's just awful. But I want to get away from that part. There are a lot of games out there that deserve to be remade.
Agreed. There really are. Again,
Bill's
it's just
like considering joining the call, but if you got the courage to do it, Bill, I don't mind.
Yeah, I say go for it if he wants to.
Yeah, it is a private call. Squeenix. Oh gods. Don't get me started. Do not get me started on Squeenix. That's what everybody calls it now. Especially with like Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. Oh. But that is not the focus of this topic. That's not the focus.
Again, this will be a topic for next time then.
Some other time, yes. We're going to have like I keep saying polls, but that would mean that we would have games prepared. But like we're gonna have people that vote on what they want us to talk about. Like I'm gonna post something on Tumblr and reblog it every few days or every few hours, seeing what people want us to talk about. And I forgot to put links in the description.
Good job.
And decide what we're gonna decide like what we'll talk about next episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are games that deserve to be remade, and there are games that should not be touched because either they are horrible or they were amazing, and you just don't fix something that's not broken.
Or the source code is missing.
Or the original creators aren't around anymore.
Exactly.
Slowly looks at Banjo-Kazooie.
Like I said, personally, again, if people are going to remake things, and again, like I said, you have to respect the source, respect the fans, and try to do a good job about it. Don't just throw everything together with the bathwater and say it's good enough. Because you will fail.
Yeah.
So I like how I said that. You will fail. Fail. Right? Are we done here then with the topic? Or does Bill want to join in and give his two?
I'm actually creating a channel in the Four Dorks group chat for Left for Random Talk.
Okay. Dorks Mark 2?
It's the one with the Godzilla. Yes. Technical difficulties. Hold on, we're gonna be shifting things around. Bill, if you really do want to, I clicked the button. I clicked the button in the middle of my sentence. Anyway,
I saw that. I heard that. I was like, you fucked
I done fucked up. No, like Bill, if you really do want to join in the call, we don't mind, but do be aware that it would mean that you have to talk, and if you're ready for that, by all means, go ahead. But we're gonna move on to the next topic.
Oh, hold on. On one last note, when you messed up there, I was so tempted to say this.
Hmm.
You done goofed.
Yeah, you've said it now. Okay. Well, yeah. Next topic. What do you want to talk about?
All right, let's see what the next one is. Hold on, my Google document has gone mental. It's refreshing.
Oh yeah, it does that.
No, it's with Chrome specific. 'Cause, like, if you're not like on a tab for a while, it goes mental and it's like. Oh.
Yep, it does that.
All right, so we've got 2 left. We've got the Should Fan Games and the Voxel. Should we say Voxel for the very end?
Yeah, because that's like literally 2 games in one.
All right, then I guess we'll go with the second to last topic. Should fan games be made? What was that? Oh, it's Bill. Hi, Bill.
Hello. You are now in. Oh, there he goes. Oh no, he's back.
I think he's having technical difficulties.
Yeah. Take your time, dude. Anyway, should fan games be made canon? Or
yes.
that's basically what we're saying here. Especially if it's really well done and respects the source material.
Agreed. Go ahead.
I remember. Oh no, I did. Okay, I'm good. I remember Five Nights at Freddy's, the creator, Scott, actually acknowledged Five Nights at Candy's because it was really well done. Like, granted, the games don't acknowledge it, but if the creator acknowledges it, then you're pretty much sold there.
Exactly. In my opinion, I do believe that's
Dreaded word.
What?
Dreaded word.
What do you mean dreaded word?
In my opinion, that's a dreaded phrase.
I thought you meant something else. Like, what do you mean? What have I done now? What secret evil are you not telling me that I've committed?
You've unleashed the entire legion of Cthulhu. We're all dead. Anyway.
Yes, perfect. All according to Keihaku.
I just know we're butchering that phrase. Anyway.
No, it's Keikakudori. That's how it's said.
If you speak Japanese, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, look at that! I've been banned from Japan.
Hey, that rhymes.
Anyway, in my opinion, I think that if a fan game does take the source material into consideration and the game itself is well put together, it doesn't need to be on par with the game, but passable enough to be enjoyable, then I think it should be considered a canon entry if the developers agree with it. Ugh.
Yeah, again, especially if it's really well done. There are some fan games out there that are really well done, but they're not acknowledged. No, Bill, we're not hearing you.
Yes. I think your microphone might be broken.
Yeah, that was one of the issues that
Is
you
it
mentioned.
broken or not plugged? It's either broken or not plugged in.
Yeah.
Have you tried turning it on and off again?
Nah. Again, technical difficulties. This is bound to happen.
Yes, like I said, people, this is very bootleg.
I like that I'm having to really stare at my coffee mug just to get this reference right. But no, like there are fan games that are really well done, but they're not acknowledged. And that's
I think.
both. I don't really
Go
think
ahead.
that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's just like
Well,
the creator knows their world, and they acknowledge it, they appreciate it, but mm, 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 mm. It's not always meant to be.
hold on.
This working?
There we go.
Hey,
Oh,
he has.
finally, I hit the right setting. God damn.
I knew it. I knew the setting wasn't right. I was about to say, did you check the settings?
We finally hear
I
his
was looking
voice.
through the settings for the last 5 minutes.
We hear his voice. Finally,
marking-
it's been years.
Yes.
Oh,
you're
by the
making
way, HH, earlier that episode of Co-optional, that was with Square Enix talking about Final Fantasy.
I remember
Ooh.
that Jesse Cox went crazy.
Squeenix and their, yeah.
And Hope. No one likes Hope.
Thank you.
Everyone hates him, including me.
I haven't even watched any gameplay, and I'm hating the guy.
No,
Or
you know,
girl, or whoever.
no, it's a dude. It's a dude. He's a very feminine dude.
That's what I've heard.
No, I'm going to be. You know what? On this, since this has been brought up, I'm going to say this right now. I honestly tried to sit down and watch a cutscene movie of Final Fantasy 13. I was so bored with the intro that I left. That never happens. If I'm doing that, you've done something wrong with your game.
Oh, you've
Yep.
done more than just something wrong.
Exactly.
Yep.
Insert Mark Hamill's I fundamentally disagree with everything you've said right there.
Yep.
Anyway, what was I saying before?
I have no idea, because suddenly Bill has finally started talking after so long.
Bill arrives and the entire chat is derailed.
Oh, if you really want derailing, I can start doing voices again.
No.
We're fine. We're fine.
It's like, we're almost done here. We don't need this.
This is like the second to last topic in general.
I think you were finishing up about what could and could not be remade.
That
Well,
we
can-
already finished that one.
Okay, so I came in past that then. Okay.
We're talking about like fan-made creations being made
Yeah,
canon
that's
if it's well done. That's the one we're focusing on.
In fact, I have a topic, an example of this, but it isn't, it's crazy. Here's the thing. So someone made an iOS Metal Gear game, which was a remake of the original Metal Gear, the first one, like the very old pixelated game. And it
Whose
was on the
footprints are
iOS.
these? What was that noise?
No, not that one. It's the very, very old one.
Ah.
The one for, it's not even the PS1 one. It's like the one for, Bill, you probably know this one. The very old gaming system. It's not the Jaguar. It's like something else.
Sega?
No, it's actually older than that.
Oh wow,
Super
that is old.
Nintendo or the original Nintendo.
No. Way before the original Nintendo. It's like way back in the day.
There is no way
Okay,
that's
then-
an Atari.
I was going to say it's either Atari, Jaguar, or something similar because they had a few different emulators and modems and such.
It was something much older, and it was. It's like a very old game system that, since it's so old, it no longer exists.
I feel like I've seen mention of it in some other video about different games, but it's like I can't think of the thing.
It is on. I'm sure I remember it from somewhere, like the name, but I cannot remember it.
Thank you. Same here.
Well, look, it was a remake of that old game, and it wasn't perfect. You know, it wasn't on the iOS, so of course, all the characters had the blocky one finger pointing out, and the rest was just a giant midden kind of thing. It really looked like an old PS2 game, but it was well done. It was competently voice acted, and it did give a sort of Hideo Kojima crazy flair to it. In fact, it was so well done, you would be forgiven to assume that Hideo worked on it too.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the crazy thing. Under normal circumstances, a game like that would be ignored, right? Like a lot of people would just ignore it as an iOS game and nobody would pay attention. However, it got attention, and it got so much attention that that Kojima actually issued a cease and desist.
I just checked. It's Commodore 64.
That's it.
Oh no!
What?
My mom has hers still.
Ah!
I am actually looking at it right now when I turn to the left.
The old 8-bit home computer gaming system. Commodore 64.
It has a little red. The moment you give it attention, like a little red eye appears on the front. It's like, I am here.
Oh, don't remind me of Elmo.
I was thinking just random Transformer, but all right.
I was thinking you were making it sound like it was possessed or something.
No.
Oh no, my mom kept like an Elmo in a box and it would start talking.
Yeah, you told me about that thing. You told me about that one.
I always assumed that the possessed toy is just the Teddy Ruxpin.
Oh,
That was
Teddy
one of
Ruxpin
them.
or Furby.
Yeah, that was the other one. I had one of those.
I love Furby. We
The
are
one I
once
had
again we are
didn't do the odd
derailing.
self, but sure as hell talked.
We are so derailed.
Who gives a shit anymore?
I know.
No, we have to stick to this. It's too early for us to cancel the series.
Way too early. This is just the first episode. We have gone to, in my opinion, to pizza, to Commodore 64, to Elmo.
There you go. You see, this is what happens. This is what happens when we have other people
Pizza
on.
is
We just
more
die.
important.
This honestly feels more like something JonTron would do. Maybe we should do it that way.
Oh God! And then have people hate us for our opinions. Yes.
Too late.
Well, folks are gonna do it anyway.
Oh, look at that! And I can already see the army of hate mail behind me.
Oh, I can't wait to deal with all the trolls. I wonder if I'm gonna get copyright for that song I developed right before we started streaming.
I wouldn't be
Someone's
surprised.
gonna try it. You know someone's gonna try it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Ugh.
That's the fun of the internet these days.
People get
Create something
pissy.
original. Hey, that's not yours. What?
Yep. Even if you came up with something that you didn't realize looked like something else, and
Or you didn't even
tried
know
to,
existed.
yeah, and you try to adjust it so it doesn't match, they're still gonna say it. So it's like,
Why bother?
Where the hell has this podcast gone?
It's gone everywhere but up.
But yeah, like Commodore
we're
64
slowly
game,
climbing.
like iOS
Mhm.
game. That's what we were talking about. iOS game.
Yeah. Yep. Right. So what I was saying about this is that Capcom did acknowledge that the remake existed, and they were so scared that people would go to it and start. Konami would start going after it. Like growing popularity. That they were scared that either A, they would lose a lot of money because someone was doing the remake for them, or people would start demanding them to start creating true Metal Gear remakes in the vein of this iOS series. So they attacked the developers, they issued the cease and desists, they got the game pulled from the iOS market. However, that did not stop the developers from doing the following. They released the files, the full game files out there on the internet. So if you really wanted to play it, you could probably track it down somewhere. And they uploaded all of the cutscenes onto their YouTube page. And as far as I'm aware, that is still up and people can still watch it. So in a very technical sense, Kojima or Konami acknowledged that the remake could be considered canon in a very loose definition.
Yep. But as long as they're not like as long as they're not going like Bethesda levels.
How so?
Like I'm actually I find this very dumb, like super stupid. It's not even related to this. But Bethesda has their heads shoved so far up their asses that they will call a copyright strike on you for sharing one word in the title of your game with something of theirs.
Oh,
And
yeah,
the
I've heard.
best example is Captain Sparkles. I am
What?
not joking. He made a mobile game, and at the time it was called Fortress Fallout.
I remember
I
that.
see. I see
And
where.
they demanded a cease and desist, and they were very much willing to sue the Google for making a game that has the name Fallout.
You know,
Because they
And
wanted to protect their Fallout market.
nobody
funny.
is going to associate Fallout with Fortress Fallout.
Exactly, and I need to say this as well. You don't own the word. Anyone can use it.
Exactly.
Actually, I'm going to say this right now.
You mentioned something about owning words, but I'm going to leave it there so we don't get further derailed. So,
I'll say this right now, though. If the lawsuit did go through, I have no doubt in my mind that Captain Sparkles would have won it. Because again, it would have been just like with the Fine Bros and their attempt to copyright the phrase "react."
That was what I was going to mention.
That was very dumb. They realized just how dumb they were.
Exactly.
I was about to say it was a fine idea, but
Puns.
It's funny because fun. Anyway.
Oh god, my volume just raised so much.
You're making me choke on water bullet, dick.
So I guess that counts that Bethesda is not one of those groups who would consider fan games, would ever consider agreeing to fan games being part of their canons.
I don't think they ever were, really.
The only time I think Bethesda would be or has accepted certain games as canon has been certain fan quests in Fallout, New Vegas, or 3, The Elder Scrolls, and that is about it, I want to say.
The mods and such, you mean?
Exactly. That is the only thing they ever consider. Because I do remember at one point someone from Bethesda did see a very well done quest, and I think it was either for Fallout or for The Elder Scrolls. I can't remember which. And they were so impressed with it that they made it officially canon with one of the games, to the point where they re-released it as an official tie-in with that game.
Hey,
Again,
you want to buy you want to buy the Elder Scrolls for the 5th time? I know I do.
What was Jim Sterling called this? Like, Skyrim is the cockroach of the video game industry. It refuses to die.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
And it's coming from a guy who doesn't like cockroaches. That's saying something. It's saying something.
Yeah, and that's surprising considering cockroaches are not that bad, really, but that's a different topic.
Yeah.
Yes, it is, and one I will vehemently argue against to the day I die.
We can have that discussion some other time.
Fine. But yeah, like I said, Bethesda, while very, very dickish towards fans and anything they consider anything they would consider infringement on their
on a word,
on their so-called label.
I am going to remain bitter about the Fortress Fallout thing, by the way. Just a heads up. Because it was very dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's about the same as like we mentioned earlier with the Fine Bros. It's like I like some of the videos they did, but when they pulled that stunt, it's like,
nope.
All goodwill evaporated.
Yeah, you're killing the enjoyment of your product. So why bother?
Because you've injected this BS because you're pissy that other people are effectively stealing your quote unquote product and making it their own.
Your moneymaker.
Right. Exactly. It's like, have you never heard the term, what was it? plagiarism is the most endeared form of flattery? Or was it copying?
I don't
Imitation.
know.
Imitation. That's it. Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. That's it.
That's a very old thing. I hardly ever hear anymore.
Exactly, because so many people are so pissy. Again, Bethesda is so pissy about anything.
Okay,
that
we
would
gotta
arrive.
break away from this because we're really pushing it with
the
Bethesda here.
constant,
I don't.
the constant attacks of Bethesda.
Well, I can think of a better group that I don't think has as much problem, except for what they did themselves on their own different vein. But
It doesn't count with this topic though.
Nice job, Rev. Blur.
Shut up.
I asked.
I didn't hear anything at all cut out on my end.
I asked him like, "What color do you want your robot?" He said, "Blur." Wait, no, blue.
I was thinking Sonic at the time. That's why. Are they buying it? No.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go
Fuck
fast.
off. Sonic is now banned in 5 countries.
I love Sonic. I'm sorry, but I love Sonic.
No, hold on. Let me say this joke. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog has now been banned in 5 countries. Hard cut to Sonic. That's no good. All right, I'm done. That is my one
I
joke.
still remember when Sonic loved the chili cheese dogs.
Okay.
We need to break away from this topic, please.
Okay, so I guess our emotional stance on this is some fan games should be considered canon if and only if they respect the source and are and are well done.
And if the creators are not idiots.
Yes.
But that's a totally different story. We're not going to go back into it, please.
All right.
Well, I guess the other company I thought of that we could mention that I think is better, don't quote me because I haven't done research, was Rockstar.
Ooh. I don't remember them.
They did GTA
they made,
5.
Yeah.
Oh, them, yeah.
As far as I know, they do a lot more in terms of like really listening to their client base.
Yeah.
Plus their little stint with the hot coffee.
Oh yeah. But in my opinion, I think they're okay. I mean, they do some pretty bad stuff on occasion, like very anti-consumer kind of crap. But overall, they're all right.
I'm sorry, but have you seen their games?
Well, amazing, in my opinion.
And GTA and many of their games are very fun. I've never saying it's very.
I know, but like their early games actually have you have sex with a woman.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm not gonna lie. That was the only reason I ever wanted to get San Andreas.
The original GTA game they first came out with was purely just run people over and kill people.
Yeah, and then ironically enough, it evolved into something. While it's still the same,
I want to say magical, but then there's that entire moment in GTA 5 where you get so high and acided that you fight aliens.
Oh yeah, Trevor.
Actually, I should say this. While on the last bit before we move on, I want to say this in terms of GTA's little copyright issues. I remember this very clearly. Some woman who had a likeness, I think she was famous or not, tried to sue the company because she believed they were using her likeness without her permission. And because of that, a guy on YouTube who does video game character dances did it as well, but as a joke. And I think more people supported him than they did the famous person.
Yeah.
I think that's because they knew he was joking, so they just went along for the joke.
Exactly. I mean, if you're going to be stupid, be funny about it and acknowledge that you're just doing this for a ride. Yeah. That's it.
Basically, take a page from Robin Williams' playbook of jokes and comedy.
Exactly.
Oh, rest in peace. Oh, that still hurts.
And now I'm sad.
Halfway.
Like,
And it's like,
I only get sad about it when Shark Week comes around because that's when I found out.
Oh yeah. Again, this is true.
Anyway,
Anyway, last topic for the evening.
Yeah, let's move on.
So our last topic is voxel games are in. Is that good or bad? And the games we're going to be talking about, and I guess this will be the wrap up for the evening, is PixArk and Staxel.
Yes.
I've not heard of those.
Recently, 2 games have come out. PixArk, which basically looks like Minecraft and Ark and Cubeland combined. Like everybody always says, like Minecraft for these little games. It's really not. And it's basically Ark, but a lot cuter and a lot prettier. You can actually destroy the terrain, which is very helpful. And there's a lot more creature variety than there is in Ark. And
hold on, I'm looking up the images for both of the games because I did receive this before.
Because I own Stardew Valley and Starbound, I actually got the offer to have Staxel for free. Well, actually, no, not for free. It was like a reduced amount. I don't remember. I think it was like 20% off for me.
Yeah, it was an offer.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna focus on PixArk first. PixArk is an adorable little game. It's very, very pretty. It was Lindsay Lohan.
Oh. Somebody
is actually in Twitch chat replying. The lady that we were talking about is Lindsay Lohan. I'm so sorry I'm not paying attention to Twitch chat because it has been so quiet for the first part of the stream.
Hang on. How many people are on Twitch, actually? Like, watching us?
So far, I think it's just 1.
Really?
There were 2 others earlier when I looked on there.
What happened? We had 6 people, and now we're down to 1. What?
No, that's just on Twitch.
Oh.
Because I'm streaming this on YouTube and Twitch, both of them.
Okay, but no, that's what I'm saying.
No,
YouTube is 1 person.
Getting back into focus, please. I'm starting to lose my voice here. PixArk is an adorable game, but
I'm listening to the robot talk.
It's actually a lot harder than regular Ark. Because critters hit harder, they're harder to kill, and it's not very merciful if you have pets. Like, I'm gonna go back to this. Pulsars Jr. is playing this game, and in his first video, a rock golem squashes himself and 3 of his pets in 1 hit.
It's like, why?
The only reason people play this...
I take it that PixArk let me ask, is PixArk like connected to Ark?
This is actually something that should have been a part of like the previous conversation. PixArk was made by somebody completely different, but the developers of Ark acknowledged it and actually promote it.
Okay, so PixArk is like, I guess if Jurassic Park has the movies, this would be the kid cartoon.
Yeah, but it's just as brutal. Just that there's so many things that have changed. Like creation is easier. You can actually destroy the landscape. So that's where the Minecraft part comes in. There's more critters that are both magical and regular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm noticing that now.
Yeah, like this game.
It almost makes me think of like Lego something or other for some reason.
Lego Worlds.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
it could be. Yeah. It could be the color palette and how the blocks are assembled.
Yeah, but it is a voxel game. It's very cute. It's very pretty.
I'd say it's better put together than Lego World, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Burn on Lego World. No.
I was so sad. I wanted to play that so bad. I love Legos.
No, I'm going to be honest. I played Lego, one of the Lego World-ish games with my significant other. And it was so complicated and needlessly obtuse that we wound up returning the game and just buying an older copy of Smash Bros.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
And you're saying I did a burn?
Damn.
It's like, it's true. Nintendo does what Lego don't. I can't follow.
It's basically Warner Brothers, but anyway,
Yeah.
it is a cute game. I do recommend it. Like if like you have a kid and you want them to play a game that doesn't have blood in it like Ark does.
Until
But-
someone adds a blood mod.
Oh no. No. When your character is really badly hurt, just red glowing bits sprinkle off of you.
Oh Jesus.
Also, a little bit more of an animated version of Minecraft in that sense, then.
Oh yeah, the models are so well done. That's the part where it becomes more like Cube Land. Like
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. It's like, this looks so familiar.
I am still confused about Cube Land, but apparently like the developer has not been able to work on it for so long that he's just told everybody, I will work on it when I work on it. So so we just haven't heard anything from it.
So it's dead.
When you hear
Okay.
something like that, that's pretty bad in just a general view of anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just means it's dead.
Oh my god, Rev, I found your home.
Well,
It's going to show up in the stream.
Yeah, I was looking at the images. Give me a second. Oh, hold on. Wait. I need to refresh the stream.
Yeah, it'll do that. But
It's
it is a
just
cute
What I had to
game.
do too.
Yeah, it's been doing that a lot today.
Oh, I see it. It's this is nice.
That is a
It's
literal
okay.
Cerberus.
This is good. Just.
And then there's two Grim Reapers. But anyway, Pixark is like the latest voxel game. It's got mixed reviews. It's in early access. It's not a fully released game. It's like $25 on Steam. Yeah.
So just like Hunt Down the Freeman.
Okay. I actually thought about that last night, Rev. Certain games do have NDAs, so don't talk about it. Like what your role in it, please, because we're gonna get into huge trouble.
I'm still under. Despite the fact that I left the project, I'm still under certain contracts, so I can't.
Yeah. Just
talk about.
Just don't talk about it. Just don't talk. No.
Yeah, just clearing the air. Just clearing the air.
Yeah, because that's one of my biggest concerns. But no, like, Pixark is adorable. It is a voxel game. Staxel is Cubeland meets Stardew Valley.
Actually, I want to say this about Staxel, and that is, this looks more like a heavily modified, texture-wise, it looks more like a heavily modified Minecraft.
I know. Like, I really like the idea of this game. Like, I really want to play it. But at the same time, I don't.
I don't know if, I don't know if Mojang could have like a legal thing against Staxel because of how similar it looks.
Oh god, my dad turned his machine back on.
Still can't hear it.
I know, and it bothers me that that's all I can focus on. Just wow, wow, wow. It's this massage machine.
I mean, I'll say this right now about like Staxel. It is very clear that the textures on a lot of the models of the game are not a single texture. It's very clear that they are miniaturized models within the texture, which is, I guess this is how they could avoid getting sued by Mojang and others. But at the same time, I don't think a court would look very kindly on it as a whole. They could still say, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. That's my concern.
I do like the varying mechanics they added. Like, they took bits of different games and clumped them together, and it works really well. Like, you have the farming aspect of Stardew Valley, you have the exploration and world changing like Minecraft, and of course the blocking stuff. You have like
Twitch chat here mentioned Minecraft is owned by Microsoft now, so
yeah.
Well, that's why I said Mojang, because I'm not sure if it is if Mojang is still part of Microsoft.
Mojang is owned by Microsoft. They
I
just
think
make
they
the
got bought
game.
out by Microsoft, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they were bought by Microsoft. But it's got farming of Stardew Valley. It's got the creativity of Minecraft. But then it has like little aspects of Animal Crossing where you catch bugs to sell for money. You
fish.
you fish for money. You cook for money, like stuff like that. And it's an adorable little game. And I'm noticing a pattern here that lately voxel games like this have been coming out, and it just explodes. So many people want to play these. I've noticed my mouse has been sitting there this whole time.
I think it partly explodes because of how, like, with Minecraft, it filled that time waster where it's fun, you can adventure and create, and you had different things you could work with. You can make up your own storyline with it. At least that's my best guess at it. The downside is, without any kind of real structure to a storyline, really anything to work on.
Exactly. And again, this is why I never really got into Minecraft as a whole, because I was just like, okay, I'm done. There's no one. Okay, I'm just bored.
Well, like I said in the chat with you before, I use it for just a time waster when I just want to, veg out and just go blank in thought and just do whatever. So
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I
play it when I'm stressed.
Yeah, it's a good way to de-stress. It's a good way to just kind of get your head just empty.
Exactly, but the thing is that I think
that I thought I'm pointing out because it's really, really creepy. Because you're focusing on the character here, then you look down, there's that.
I thought it was cute.
Well, yeah, it is cute.
Well, I'll say this as well in terms of.
It's kind of cute too. So, but then again, that's just me.
Anyway, what I was saying was that again, this is from my point of view. Minecraft did have an interesting premise. It's a good. Your imagination is your thing. However, I think the biggest mistake Microsoft did was allowing Telltale to create a story mode, because now it's kind of set the precedent of there is a canon story to Minecraft, and this is what it is, and it does. I'm not saying it kills creativity, but it does stifle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now you're trying to find something that meets that same level, and there's nothing available.
What's worse is that when you do create a story for yourself in Minecraft, a person's first reaction is, "Hey, that's sort of like Shadow of Israfel."
Or something else similar, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There are people who have made stories that have made such a big impact that it's hard to actually come up with your own.
Exactly, and excuse me. Exactly, and because of this, because of the president's these very what's the word? Because of the presidents that these these very popular stories or whatever else have these sets, it kind of de-incentivizes being creative, because at the end of the day, you're kind of like, why should I try being, why should I do this? Why should I do that? Et cetera, et cetera. It's just not going, I just would rather be connected to this instead of that. And, at the end of the day, it's like, well, why bother, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get those who take it as a challenge and go so far out there that it's like, what are you doing?
Exactly. It's like, again, it's the problem with, like, when you have like a certain fan fiction and then attempt to copy aspects of that fan fiction, and they just take it to 11, and you're just kind of like, stop it.
It's like with the fanfic thing. It's like somebody who writes a fanfic, but they will not acknowledge that this is not canon.
Exactly. Like,
the type who try to force their headcanon to make it canon.
Oh,
Exactly.
gods, those are so bad.
I mean, I'll say this right now. My own story, War for Origins, I fully acknowledge the fact that it's never to be acknowledged as canon. I have never had any delusions of that. But that does not stop me from trying to make this story as close to the source and as respectful as humanly possible.
And you've actually been doing a really good job from what I've been able to read.
Thank you.
I liked it too, yeah.
Thank you.
I'm kind of regretting the Ember thing, but
Again, we can talk more about that later
Oh
on.
no, don't worry. I'm actually working towards getting Ember Prime.
Okay. Let's see.
That went over so many people's heads.
Yeah. Again, if anyone doesn't know it, read it. Just selfless
Do you want
plug-in.
me to add a link of it to the description, or?
Yes, do it.
Okay.
Start from the first chapter, though. You gotta read the first because it's worth the entire read.
Thank you.
Shameless promotion.
Well, this is also my own 2 cents because if you don't read like the first chapter, then you go back and read like the third chapter, you're missing so many things about how it connected.
Oh
Exactly.
yeah.
Again, I follow a bit of the George storytelling where everything kind of flows together with poetry.
Well, sometimes you actually do need that though for almost any really good solid storyline because if you're just skipping over pieces, then it's like, what's the real use of having that section? So
yeah, but there's a fine difference between having things flow together and just kind of copying off and changing things slightly and saying, "Oh, it's this one instead." Again, we can get into that topic.
the copy and paste thing, you mean?
Here we go.
So let's see. Yeah. So
shit.
what did you do?
I accidentally clicked inspect on Twitch.
Oh yeah,
I hate doing that.
Yeah,
that reminds me of like other websites where they have that little corner bar for like report issue or whatever, and you're trying to scroll down, then you click that because it won't drop down or something.
Yeah, and then you're like, no, I don't want to.
Or you're on mobile and you're looking something.
Where's the cancel button?
It's like you're on mobile and you're looking something up, but the ad follows the scroll. In fact, it even covers what you're looking at.
And it's like, fuck off. Yeah. And this is why
it's covering the most important section too.
That's my issue when I look up anything about Arc and taming. Because when I look something up, it follows where I'm scrolling. Oops. Okay, I can't do that. But no, like these games are coming out. Lately, voxel has been the focus. They're really well done. But I wouldn't. I'm not sure. I'm ready to say that they are replacing Minecraft.
I don't think they'll ever seriously replace Minecraft, but they're definitely going to give a good filler for the interim, like the in-between portions.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, there's
recently, Minecraft had the biggest update ever, where they finally brought the oceans to life.
After how many years? When it was just filled with nothing
but squids.
They finally did that now?
On everything.
They finally did that.
They now have salmon that actually swim around. They have sea turtles and baby sea turtles. They have fish. They have puffer fish, which are very, very fun.
And anemones and all that now, I'm assuming.
Not anemones, but they do have coral, which are very pretty, but you have to have water source near them.
And fair enough, because at least they got something that lines the bottom instead of just being bare sand or gravel. So
exactly,
I'll take that.
Grian from Minecraft, like that server that I built that loot shop on, Bill.
Oh yeah.
He did a video showing like the different aquariums you could do. And like the best part of it was at the end where he had a dance party with the pufferfish. Because when you take them out of the water, they start jumping around, but they slap. like make wet slap noises, and they keep inflating and then deflating over and over again.
Oh, Lord.
So they actually had it mimic almost like a real pufferfish then.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
All right. So,
I wonder if they actually have it programmed to follow you around like a dog. Because
Oh
apparently
no,
that's
no. They die after a few minutes.
Oh, I know. I'm saying in the water though.
Pufferfish will inflate and poison you.
like
fun.
actual ones. All right. So, I guess is that it?
That topic's over.
All right. Well, I guess this is the end. Should we have some final thoughts, ideas?
I'm going to say this. This is just the first episode we've done. We're not dead set on a schedule just yet. Maybe every Wednesday. I'm not sure. It mostly depends on Rev here. But we're gonna have
I'll try and join in when I can.
and Bill whenever he feels like he wants to join in.
Well, I have other things going on that I've told you about before, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. We all have schedules. All right. So yeah, we also we might do the again. This is going back to what I said in the introduction. Oh, excuse me. We might go into sorry. Maybe the next, not the next one, but the next one after the oh God, hold on. The next, the following podcast we do after the next one, we might do that whole the mobile suit of the month poll. So again, if people like it or if not, then let's see how it works.
And I can definitely do something like Pokemon related.
Exactly.
Just to balance it out, so we're not going to focus on Gundam all the time, because that's just one fandom when there's so many.
I can join you in on the Pokemon one.
Yeah.
You want to know what's hilarious about that? Now that you've said it, there's so many. Universal Century alone, different mobile suit.
Oh, good.
Well, yeah, you were telling me about the different universes and whatnot, so.
Exactly. It's not just.
Okay. Guys, I really got to go to the bathroom here. We need to wrap up.
I only have one thing to say.
What?
That's all, folks.
I knew it. I fucking knew he was going to do something like that. I was like, no, let him do it. It's like, no, fuck off.
I am going to create another blog on Tumblr for Left for Random Talk. And I'm going to link it in the description below and on my Twitch channel. You guys can go there, suggest games, anime, movies, topics, yeah. Just keep what's the best word to use without sounding like a total dick? Keep stupid stuff out of it.
What would be stupid stuff?
Like,
use common sense.
Basically. I really gotta go to the bathroom. I can't focus.
All right. Well,
like going back to like Far Cry 5. The religious thing, the like things.
Keep the politics and whatnot out.
Keep the drama and stuff out. We might talk about it, but like it's our decision if we want to talk about that. Like, we're probably going to be idiots and talk about it anyway. Just keep stuff like that out. Suggest games, suggest topics, suggest animes, movies.
Try to keep it fun and lighthearted.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even though we've been swearing up a storm.
Exactly.
Well, that kind of goes along with the territory.
I guess the best way would be is like, let's do silly shit.
We are adults. We don't need to be told to grow up.
Exactly.
We just have fun choosing to act like kids when we can.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Life sucks as it is.
Gotta have a little fun while you can.
Yep.
Exactly. Don't make everything.
This world is awful. Let us have our fun, please.
Yes, that's it.
Regardless of your own views. Just
Yeah.
enjoy what you got.
Yeah.
All right.
Now,
So
we'll end.
all right. So thank you everyone for coming in. Hope you had fun. Sorry we kind of we kind of get like this, and hopefully we'll see you maybe next week, maybe the week after. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Thank
So
you
this
so
has
much
been
for
Left to
joining
Right.
us, everybody. And thank you,
Bye,
Bill, for
folks.
joining. Thank you, Bill. Thanks, Rev, for joining. The next stream, this image is going to be finished, and it'll be on in the background the entire time, and it will be cut away to the topics. But yeah,
Yep.
see you guys later.
Bye, guys.